So do I look in the camera or do I look to you?
Both sides?
Pardon me?
Both.
Both. Okay, good. And I can put my hands on the table.
Yeah, it's fine. Your hands won't disappear, but don't like move your left hand out. If you move your left hand to the other, it'll be cut.
Ah, so it has to stay here, yeah.
You can move your right. It's fine. You can hit me, but you don't get your hand cut.
Okay, good, yeah. I see.
Okay, so I'll just run you through.
So you did already quite a lot of these, yeah?
Yeah, we did almost like 11 years.
Ah, that's how it looks like. Wait a moment, I have to take a picture of this. That's really, how shall I say, special. It does not really, wait, I have a new phone.
Ooh.
Yes, I have now the famous iPhone 8.
Why not the X?
Company didn't pay it.
I'm only a 6.
Yeah, okay, so you have to complain to your boss,
That's
yeah.
not the company won. Okay, never mind.
The company want to stay in contact with me, so they have to give me a phone.
Yes, exactly. Give me a minute. I haven't go through yet. Yeah, so I was telling you this is the place where that we have. So they will count down 5 seconds. So after this one, they'll give me a good thumbs up.
You start.
Yeah, then I will start saying, right now, welcome back to the vStudio. Right now, I have Dr. Peter Siebert from the DVB. Or do you prefer the DVB project?
You can say DVB, yeah.
From the DVB with us. So the first question is, DVB is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. So
you give me the keyword, yeah, and then I can go on what we've done over the last 25 years. Will take about 1 hour.
No, I mean just, so could you share with us some of the work that DVB has done so far and what's next? So that's the first question. I'll put 2 together. Yeah. Then the second question, maybe would you like to summarize the change you see taking place in the industry, or do you want to talk about more about the technology? No,
don't let me speak about the changes in the industry, because let me speak about the role of DVB in the future. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just stick with just this.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure. I think we can fill the 5 minutes with this. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay.
I would not know to say what to say about the state of the industry, except that it's not in a good state.
We all know that, that's the thing, but we couldn't say it.
Yeah, but normally you try to be positive in these moments. Yeah.
Okay. We are good to start. Yep. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Dr. Peter Siebert from the DVB with us. So Dr. Siebert, I understand that DVB is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Can you share with us some of the work DVB has done so far and what's next for DVB?
Okay. Hi, Josephine. First of all, thank you for having me here. I always very much appreciate to be interviewed by you. And I also appreciate to be here at this event in Singapore. It's the 10th time I'm here, so it's also a personal anniversary. But coming back to the question, yes, DVB is now 25 years old, and 25 years is always a special date. It's a date where you look back and where you also look forward. And when I'm looking back, yes, we have achieved a lot. We did our first generation of standards, DVB-T, DVB-S, DVB-C. And it's fair to say that these standards enable the transition from analog broadcast to digital broadcast. Then about 10-15 years ago, we did our second generation standard, and this brought significant performance improvement, and it also brought with it the transition from SD to HD. And of course, when you have a first and a second generation, the question is, what about the third generation? So we tried it for satellite. We looked into our S2 specification. We added a lot of features and new functionality to it, but we could not achieve our main objective, and the main objective was to improve the spectral efficiency, to give more capacity for the DTH range of operation. And consequently, we did call the new standard not S3, but we called it S2X. When looking into the terrestrial, we had, after we developed DVB-T2, We did quite some investigations on new technologies for the terrestrial transmission. We looked into MIMO, for example. We also analyzed a new technology called WIB or VIP, which was proposed only 2 years ago at the IBC. So we had 2 study missions on VIP, and just in the last 2-3 weeks I got the results of the study missions. And the final decision, the final conclusion must be drawn at our steering board meeting next week. But basically I can tell you already now that the conclusion of the study mission is that WIB has the potential to reduce CAPEX and OPEX significantly because it can reduce the transmit power. It also has the potential to increase the capacity of the overall network. However, there is one big drawback, and the drawback is that WIB works the best if it's installed in a greenfield approach without neighbors using classical broadcast, terrestrial broadcast system. And basically this is a very strict limitation, so the recommendation to the steering board will be to stop within DVB the further work on WIB. And basically this means that we still have this ultimate border, the channel limit, the ultimate limit, and for the time being we have no tools at hand to come closer to the Shannon limit. So for the time being DVB will not work on a 3rd generation channel transmission standard. So there will be no S3, no C3 and no T3, and except the scientific community comes up with a marvelous new technology of which we're not aware yet. So you may ask now, what will DVB do? Will we close it down? No, we will not, because there are many other things to do. We are now going into a world of hybrid, of interactivity, of IP delivery, and this world needs standards, this world needs guidance from a reputable standardization organizations like DVB. So we have already started to be active in it. So we started with DVB-Dash, which is basically a subset of the MPEG-Dash specification, specifically for broadcast content. We are working currently on low latency Dash, so to decrease the latency introduced by the Dash protocol. And we are working on ABR multicast, which is bringing the scalability of multicast to an OTT world. And these 3 building blocks will be the foundation of something completely new, which we call DVB-I, and here the I stands for Internet. And the purpose, the intention of DVB-I is to bring the quality of experience, convenience of use of digital broadcast also to the IP world. And one of the main focus of this will be service discovery, because you know when you have OTT services there are many services out there, and it's very difficult to find all these services. So we want to make it easier for the end user to find the service, and also easier for the operators, for the OTT broadcasters to present the content. And that's a project we just have started. We have started with the commercial requirements, and now the technical work will begin. And for us it's a new road, and many people are joining us on this road. And I would like to invite everybody to follow us on this way.
Thank you so much for sharing with us all the work that DVB has done over the past 25 years. And of course, we look forward to the next 25 years from DVB. Thank you, Dr. Siebert.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a pleasure to be here, yeah, and I hope to see you again next year.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. It was a little bit of a monologue from my side. I hope it was okay for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. You want your stuff back?
I might be
to your boss,
it's
yeah.
Not the company. The company wants your transmitter.
The company wants.
Thank you. And the second, we are good to start.
And I also appreciate to be here at this event in Singapore. It's the 10th time I'm here, so it's also a personal anniversary operation. And consequently, the conclusion of the study mission is that WIB has the potential
Now it's on.
Yeah.
Is there any other?
1 1 2 1 2 hello check check This is Broadcast Asia. Hello test 1. Hello test 1. Is there? This is Broadcast Asia 2018. This is Broadcast. This is Ideal Live. This is Ideal Live. 1 2. Hello test. Hello, this is Ideal Live. 1 2. Hello. This
Still on the corner side.
This is Ideal Live.
They're on the other side.
Hello test.
They have right?
The other side. Because it's AWS.
Hello test.
G and D. Yeah.
Hello test 1 2. APB broadcast, Asia Pacific Broadcasting, news you can use, solutions you can trust, publishing tools, insights, notifications, inbox, promotions.
Yesterday also no business mentioned to
I think one or two of us. One or two of us.
so rather don't.
Okay.
Avoid. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh.
I think the cable is long enough.
Yeah, it's long enough. Hope the chair can lower as low as possible. Okay, this is your mic. You can put it any place, or you just hide inside.
Into the pocket.
Yes, you can put it inside. Oh, 它好高嘞！哦，你就唔得收人。
They say you're very tall.
Yeah.
So we have to sit over there.
No, she have to bring it.
I think seated I'm not that tall. It's the long legs.
So, Jochen, bring mic to incorporate the images because
because the system
the
actually
transition
Okay.
is having
Yeah.
some issues.
I think it shouldn't matter.
So
Yeah.
sorry about it. Because we just
No
realized
problem.
it yesterday when we were actually on air. So it's better not, but if you insist, then we'll proceed.
No, it's all right. Of course. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, yeah. So we'll proceed without the images.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry about it.
Oh, no problem.
Let's take a sit inside first.
Okay.
Here, this way. It's the bus around here. Step for the step.
Yeah. Thank you.
You have these with you later?
Pardon?
Are you having the papers with you later?
No, I don't think so. Just wanted to have another look.
No worries.
Just.
So this is a placeholder we have before every streaming. So after that, they'll do a 5-second countdown. And they'll give me a good signal, then we'll go live into this shot.
any adjustment.
Okay, yeah. So we're looking like this afterwards. Then I will just do a shot in the front.
The micro.
It's on.
Okay, it's on now.
You gotta hunt one voice only. Yes, on. It's green.
Yeah, it's on. Then, where was I? Oh yeah, so
I think I won't need the
you
badge
just
on the.
put it on the edge of the table, then it won't capture anything.
Over there?
Yeah, it's fine. Then, so I'll do a short intro saying that right now we are at the vStudio. So right now we have Jochen, how do I pronounce your last name again? Sorry. Bauer.
Yeah.
Jochen Bauer from Gantelman and Druck?
Or just G&D.
From GND.
Yeah.
Jochen Bauer from GND with us. So I will then go to the first question, which is the trends you see taking place in the industry. Then the second question would be the solutions that GND is bringing to Broadcast Asia this year. Okay, so you can look at me or you can look at the camera. It's fine.
Okay.
Just don't put out your left hand. If not, it will be cut off. If you do like this, then it will be cut.
Oh yeah.
So you can move your right hand. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you're
First
ready.
the trends and then the solutions.
The solutions,
we've got here at the
yes.
show. Yeah. And that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We're looking around 5 minutes, but two questions should fit better than 5 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Are we okay? Are we okay?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, we
Time
are
already.
okay. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Jochen Bauer from GND with us. So Jochen, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Of course, yeah. First of all, thanks for the opportunity to be here. The trends, the most relevant trends we see for our business is, of course, the demand for higher and higher resolutions, and of course the shift to IP-based systems, which is both very interesting for us and relevant.
And what are some of the solutions that GND is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
Well, what we're showing here is it's got to do with both of these trends. First of all, regarding resolutions, we've got our systems with us supporting 4K 60 Hz, and we are also showing our KVM extender doing uncompressed 8K super high vision resolution, both live down on our stand. And yeah, the second aspect is some very interesting new product launch, which is our KVM over IP matrix system. And yeah, this now offers further flexibility and easier scalability, as we believe that now the former bandwidth issues don't really exist anymore in the broadcast environment, and now the system based on 1 gigabit network transmission, and yeah, so with nowadays broadcast infrastructures, that 1 gigabit should be fine, and offering that easy scalability via standard network components. And furthermore offering all our great usability features for the IP matrix, as well as it's included in the classical matrix. So that's the big news we're showing at this show here.
Okay, sure. So thank you so much for sharing with us, Jochen. I hope GND will have a great Broadcast Asia this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, very good.
That was a question. I forgot if I talked to you or to the camera.
No, it's fine. You can just feel free to
okay.
Look here or look there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so very good.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Let me just unmic you first. I think. Yeah. Do you mind? The clip. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And before I let you go, I'll just grab a quick picture of you. Perhaps you'd like to sit over there. Can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Of course, yeah. First of all, thanks for the opportunity for IP-based systems, which is both very interesting for us and relevant.
And what are some of the solutions that GND is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
We've got our systems with us supporting 4K 60 Hz, and we are also showing our KVM extender doing uncompressed 8K super high vision. Yeah, this
Josephine is at the washroom. So
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So because we're also gathering comments from exhibitors and show visitors about how you find the show, what kind of technology do you think is we've seen here that you think would be a good impact for Asia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one question later.
Yeah.
But it's regular.
It's also recorded?
It will be recorded, but for our show news.
Yeah, sure, but can we do it after?
Yes.
So, but what question is, how is it working? How does it go? Like,
it's just a comment. We're just gathering comments, so the page will be like a comment section for different industries.
Okay, let's see after then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Inevitably is the progress of AI. Hello.
Just been to Washington for a bit.
It's okay.
Sorry about yesterday.
Happens.
So it's two questions, the same questions.
Okay.
It's working today since morning. The first session we started at 10:30, so it should be fine now.
Perfect.
I hope it doesn't have anything.
It will be fine.
It will be fine. Yay!
Because it stopped when I arrived yesterday, no?
It would actually
even
way
before.
slightly before that. We already had that problem.
So can you ask me the question quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I need also to rehearse.
So okay. So the first question is the trends you see taking place in the media industry.
Yeah.
And the second question is the solutions that vStudio software is bringing in.
So for the new trends, undoubtedly the rise of social media, the progress of AI, and the change of information consumption. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Can I keep this finally? Or?
Is it okay for her to put her notepad there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's fine. Very good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, very good. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Annabelle Boutin from vStudio Software with us. So Annabelle, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Yeah, actually, I guess everyone will answer you about the same, which is the rise of social media, the progress of AI, and so I guess the change of the consumption of information right now. People are now using the phone, are going on Facebook, maybe opening less real newspaper. So yeah, we'll talk about this, and as well, of course, the big mobility that comes with it. Now you can get information right in your pocket, but also for professionals, they can work, in a different way.
Yes. So what are some of the solutions that vStudio Software is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
Well, to Broadcast Asia, we decided, like every year, to develop our software because the software that is not developed is dying, of course. Yeah. But to answer mainly the hypermobility, the new hypermobility, we focus on keep going on the development of web access software. For example, we have the WinMAM software, which is our media set and newsroom system management, all in one platform. So it is now completely, that is accessible completely through the web. And so it's very good for the journalists if they want, to upload an interview from remote places, or also write their news script. And even more, you were asking me about the change and the social media. So we actually created an algorithm in this WinMAM that will shrink your text, your initial news script, into the correct number of characters, for example, for Twitter or for Facebook, and can push it directly on this platform.
All right, Thank you so much for sharing with us. Hope vStudio Software will have a great show at Broadcast Asia this year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Annabelle.
Have a good
day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay,
good.
Good.
Well, I spoke like half of what I wanted to speak, but it's okay.
think the show is pretty better today, right? Yesterday was quiet. Yesterday was very quiet.
Super crowded. Super busy, sorry. Super quiet. Super quiet.
Yes. But today, I think it's slightly better.
It's slightly better, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, yesterday, like even in the morning, it was hard to start. But, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for turning on the bell.
Here's too.
Before I let you go, I'll grab a quick picture of you. Mic test 1, 2. Mic test 1, 2. With us today. So, okay.
And then another Korean Olympics just recently, and then of course with IP, SIPD 2110, we were involved in the world's very first SIPD 2110 live broadcast in Australia with NEP. So some pretty cool stuff happening at Ross over the past year. We're growing, and we're up year to date. We're 8 months into our recent fiscal. We're up about 15% year over year. So pretty good track record.
And I've heard this term software-defined production a few times. What does this mean to Ross?
20 plus people.
You.
And then another hour up from Toronto to Ottawa. So
wow.
It's probably all together.
Hi everyone, welcome to the APB vStudio. Today we have Jeff Moore from Ross Video with us. So Jeff.
The concept of maximizing your return on investment when it comes to technology investments. So people like things that don't just have one function, but that could be repurposed, whether it's software or hardware. And so software-defined production is our way of kind of explaining that to the marketplace and capturing the functionality of a lot of the products that we brought to market over the last couple of years, and how they can be flexibly adjusted through software. And you can quickly add functionality that maybe you don't have today through software licenses, and also quickly repurpose your facility from one thing to another thing on the fly very quickly.
And you mentioned a couple of industry trends earlier. We have seen significant consolidation this year in terms of vendors, and what's Ross Video's takes on that?
Consolidation of vendors, yes, there has been a lot of activity over the last year, both in terms of vendor consolidation, changes of leadership and ownership in various companies. At Ross, we're very consistent, stable. That stuff doesn't really apply to us. We got a great track record. Our majority shareholder is David Ross, and the rest are employees. So we control our own destiny and offer something that I think is a little bit different in the marketplace, which is a very stable long-term view on the hardware-centric products that we have a huge software component. And the software has become more and more important. So as the industry changes, we don't restrict ourselves to things that you can see on the booth. One is our unified venue control that allows us to produce content for stadiums, also for esports. So we got an esports setup there that's kind of fun to come and see. Esports is a really rapidly evolving market for us. It's fun, exciting customers, and you can come by and see how to produce esports content, not just the live stream, but also content for displays that are in these theater venues or stadium venues that are used by the esports folks. So you can come and see that. We have portable live production solutions as well on the display, so we can are used by the esports folks. So you can come and see that. We have portable live production solutions as well on the display, so we can show systems for producing content at a high level, very portably, replay systems, and that sort of thing on the show floor. And really anything to do with an end-to-end live production, you can come by and see us at the show.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Josephine. It was great.
Thank you. Have a great show at Broadcast Asia.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
ConnecTechAsia has kind of changed. ConnecTechAsia has kind of changed a little bit of the feeling of the show.
Showcase that it's actually very easy to set up a virtual studio. You can set it up anywhere.
You were way through Michelle's talk.
Yeah.
ConnecTechAsia has kind of changed a little bit of the feeling of the show, so they're trying to bring it under one big umbrella, but there's still obviously Broadcast Asia within Suntech. So a lot of our members certainly are happy that they're back here.
Fortunately,
ConnecTechAsia has kind of ConnecTechAsia has kind of changed a little bit of the feeling of the show, so they're trying to bring it under one big umbrella, but there's still obviously Broadcast Asia within Suntech. So a lot of our members certainly are happy that they're back here.
Fortunately, yesterday I had a chance to go to the IP masterclass that was put on by APB and Ideal Systems, and it was a great presentation. We had a lot of end users, a lot of good discussion about IP, although there is quite a reluctance to go IP. As I always say, if you're just doing a little upgrade or whatever, you don't need IP, but if you're going to get in the game, you got to build a little sandbox, a little test something, and get your foot in there, because ultimately it is going that way.
Yeah, I mean, when we look particularly at Broadcast Asia show, it is a Southeast Asia show, effectively. And there's still that move to HD. I think in most operations, the move to UHD is a step too far. And within that, obviously, they're reviewing IP and the move to IP. If 12 gig SDI works, perhaps is there reason to go to IP if 12 gig SDI is working?
Well, that's true, but 12 gig SDI is great if you're just doing a little short run or whatever, but ultimately you do need to get into the IP game as far as that goes. I mean, when we look at our end user surveys, IBM does a lot of end user surveys, certainly people are looking for better workflows and better cost of ownership.
Okay, correct. And I think understanding the benefits of IP is a real important thing, and obviously training, and that was what obviously yesterday was about, and also IBM is rolling out training, particularly for IP and move to IP. So it's quite important to kind of get an understanding of where the technology is moving and the adoption of IP is coming along.
Now you spearhead the training courses here and making sure people understand. What sort of take-up do you see on that?
Oh, absolutely. When we do IP courses, they're full. Every time they're full, so which is exciting because it does show that the industry is willing to invest back into training and also trying to get to grips and understand where, let's say, particularly where IP is going. We have, we're obviously very famous for the GMVR report, which is also detailing where the IP is
to set up a virtual studio. You can set it up anywhere, anytime, anywhere you want. But I know having our because we are trying to stream it onto YouTube and Facebook Live as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Is it your first time at Broadcast Asia?
Cameras are, I'm like, yay! And then was you hear the that provides for broadcast visualization where it makes sense to do so. So faster. People know that as they look forward to newer projects, that IP definitely will help them move faster, reduce cabling, get ready for virtualization where it makes sense to do so. So yeah, it was a really good event. And they're switching that or producing that in real time. So
okay. Wow.
So if you hear the dramatic music, that's what that is. Run over and have a look.
Okay, I should make some time. Yeah, my last interview ends at 4:30. Show closes at 6. I have time.
Yes.
Yep. But how do you find yesterday's the seminar?
It was great. It's a transition to an IP network and the benefits that that provides for broadcast. Think about know that as they look forward to newer projects, that IP definitely will help them move faster, reduce cabling, get ready for virtualization where it makes sense to do so. So yeah, it was a really good event. Where were you sitting in the room? Were you there or?
I was there on the first table. Yeah,
on table 1?
Table 2, I guess.
Ah, okay.
The one with Paul.
Oh yeah. I think ability.
No, the interesting yesterday saying that we can start from changing Jochen Bauer from GND with us. So Jochen, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Of course, yeah. First of all, thanks for the opportunity to be here. The trends, the most relevant.
Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Jochen Bauer from GND with us. So Jochen, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Of course, yeah. First of all, thanks for the opportunity to be here. The trends, the most relevant trends we see for our business is, of course, the demand for higher and higher resolutions, and of course, the shift to IP-based systems, which is both very interesting for us and relevant.
Bauer from GND with us. So Jochen, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Of course, yeah. First of all, thanks for the opportunity to be here. The trends, the most relevant trends we see for our business is, of course, the demand for higher and higher resolutions, and of course, the shift to IP-based systems, which is both very interesting for us and relevant.
And what are some of the solutions that GND is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
Well, what we're showing here is it's got to do with both of these trends. First of all, regarding resolutions, we've got our systems with us supporting 4K 60 Hz, and we are also showing our KVM extender doing uncompressed 8K super high vision resolution, both live down on our stand. And yeah, the second aspect is some very interesting new product launch, which is our KVM over IP matrix system. And yeah, this now offers further flexibility and easier scalability, as we believe that now the former bandwidth issues don't really exist anymore in the broadcast environment, and now the system, it's based on 1 gigabit network transmission, and yeah, so with nowadays broadcast infrastructures, that 1 gigabit should be fine, and offering that easy scalability via standard network components. And furthermore, offering all our great usability features for the IP matrix, as well as it's included in the classical matrix. So that's the big news we're showing at this show here.
Okay, sure. So thank you so much for sharing with us, Jochen. I hope GND will have a great Broadcast Asia this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Jochen Bauer from GND with us. So Jochen, can you share with us some of the trends?
And furthermore, offering all our great usability features for the IP matrix as well.
To your boss,
that's
yeah.
Not the company. The company wants. Okay, never mind.
The company want to stay in contact with me, so they have to give me a phone.
Yes, exactly. Give me a minute. I haven't go through yet. Yeah, so I was telling you this is the place where they will have. So they will count down 5 seconds. So after this one, they'll give me a thumbs up.
You start.
Yeah, then I'll start.
Yeah.
This is the place where they will have.
You start.
To your boss,
that's
yeah.
Not the company. The company won. Okay, never mind. I haven't got through yet. Yeah, so I was telling you this is the place where that we have. So I haven't got through yet. Yeah, so I was telling you this is the place where that we have. So they will count down 5 seconds. So after this one, they'll give me a thumbs up.
You start.
Yeah, then I'll start saying, right now, welcome back to the vStudio. Right now, I have Dr. Peter Silver. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Bogdan Fasina from Dejaro with us. So Bogdan, what are some of the technology trends you see taking place in today's media industry?
Well, I think the media industry is switching to IP, for sure. Not only just the studios, but also in the field. We've seen this trend continue. I believe that there's a lot more contribution that's going to happen, and from a lot tougher locations. We deal with that every day. We get news, we get content from all these different locations, and at the end of the day, we need bandwidth in order to be able to do that. So I think that the trend of providing more creative encoding, such as HEVC, of course, that just got released recently, and things like satellite over IP, as well as having LTE and 5G coming out, it's all driving that trend of having more available connectivity to be able to create more content from all these different locations. At the same time, in the studio, what we see is SMPTE 2110 and an adoption of that, and we're seeing a deployment of some of it in some sort of fashion. Not everything is quite there, but I think over the next year or so, things are going to get in a lot better position. And you guys had a great seminar yesterday, which the Master IP class, which worked quite well. Michelle did a great job talking about the experience of CBC and what they went through to go to an all IP system within their facilities.
And what are some of the solutions that Dejaro is bringing to Broadcast Asia this year?
Yeah, so we're really excited to bring to Broadcast Asia our new technology called Gateway. What Gateway provides is an actual IP blended connection in the field. So if you have a live video encoder of any kind, you attach it to the gateway, which then the gateway just provides you a blended IP connection for general purpose. So you can not only attach your encoder, you can attach your VoIP phone, you can attach your laptop to be able to provide more.
Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Bogdan Fasina from Dejaro with us. So Bogdan, what are some
through to go to an all IP system within their facilities?
And what are some of the solutions that Dejaro is bringing to Broadcast Asia this year?
Yeah, so we're really excited to bring to Broadcast Asia our new technology called Gateway. What Gateway provides is an actual IP blended connection in the field. So if you have a live video encoder of any kind, you attach it to the gateway, which then the gateway just provides you a blended IP connection for general purpose. So you can not only attach your encoder, you can attach
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
They showed me where they were, and I know that I cannot do this because my arm is just like this. Yes.
So let me on my mic first. So, okay, this is sort of like the placeholder that we have. Then after this, Sim will do a countdown 5 seconds. Then I'll just do a short intro to say.
Roger. Can you hear me? So where's going to when are you gonna put the images on? Are you gonna do it at the beginning or are you gonna do it at the end? Yeah. Okay, I'll queue you. Okay, how much time do you need for the queue? How much time? How much time do you need for the queue? But they showed me where they were, so, and I know that I cannot do this because my arm is just like this. Yes.
So let me on my mic first. So, okay, this is sort of like the placeholder that we have. Then after this, Sim will do a countdown 5 seconds. Then I'll just do a short intro to say.
Roger.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? So where's going to when are you gonna put the images on? Are you gonna do it at the beginning or are you gonna do it at the end? Yeah. Okay, I'll queue you. Okay, how much time do you need for the queue? How much time? How much time do you need for the queue?
To be quite fast, wait a second.
So what I'm going to do, that's going to be your cue. So that's going to be, I'm going to show this one.
A technology refresh, making sure that they have the latest technology to reduce the cost and simplify the operation of the day-to-day television production. A technology refresh, making sure that they have the latest technology to reduce the cost and simplify the operation of the day-to-day television productions, improve the quality, all of those things. And that gives the company time to identify the best new emerging markets to go into. For different companies, some are focusing on esports.
Space out from here, I would cut off.
Okay.
Because they just sort of like far.
A technology refresh, making sure that they have the latest technology to reduce the cost and simplify the operation of the day-to-day television productions, improve the quality, all of those things. And that gives the company time to identify the best new emerging markets to go into. For different companies, some are a technology refresh, making sure that they have the latest technology to reduce the cost and simplify the operation of the day-to-day.
Space out from here, I would cut off.
Okay.
Because they just sort of like.
So I'll stay here.
Your choice, try not to restrict anyone.
Fine.
Yeah. So how's the show so far?
Quiet.
Day one morning.
I hope not. Day one morning normally is fine.
Because a lot of people have to register downstairs, so the crowd after lunch will.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. I heard it's very quiet.
It's very quiet. If you're talking about publicity itself, probably, but it's quiet. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's even the registration there. They have a look.
I didn't take a look at the registration itself. Yeah.
I heard people complaining that it's a bit too quiet.
Yes, but to be fair itself, community agent is no better. That's what I heard.
Is there any particular reason why?
I have no idea. So I haven't seen it for myself. So probably I'll just walk over along the next few days. If it's this kind of pace itself, I think I will have contact.
I hope you won't have plenty of time.
Yes,
yes,
you're right.
That's what everybody hopes.
Yes.
You know. We want to be busy during shows.
We want to be busy. We want to be. I mean, it's not just the money.
Yeah.
It's really the effort that you're putting in a lot of resources into it yourself.
Exactly.
Does it make sense?
Especially, it looks like your booth is bigger than last year, right? You got a bigger booth.
Yes, we got a bigger booth as well. We got more partners. In fact, the whole presentation, I think we are quite okay. We are quite okay as well. But it's just the crowd that's not there.
Yeah, the crowd is not there.
Yeah.
So, were you at Koba or?
I was at Koba.
How was Koba? Better
than here. But the thing was that Koba itself, it was heavy rain for that week.
Okay.
So it was raining every day for that week. So in a sense that you can probably blame it a bit on the rain itself, and also a bit slow down in terms of the whole economy. So, but
I space out from here, I will cut off.
Okay.
Because they just sort of like.
So I'll stay here.
Your choice, lah. Try not to restrict anyone.
Fine.
Yeah. So how's
it's quiet. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's even the registration there.
To be fair itself, ConnecTechAsia is no better. That's what I hope. Kind of pace itself, I think I will have contact too.
I hope you won't have plenty of during shows.
We want to be busy. We want to be. I mean, money.
Yeah.
It's really the effort that you're putting in a lot of resources into it yourself.
Exactly.
Does it make sense?
Especially, it looks like your booth.
Money.
Yeah.
It's really the effort. The whole presentation, I think we are quite okay. We are quite okay as well. But it's just the crowd that's not there.
Yeah, the crowd is not there.
Yeah.
So, were you at Koba or?
I was at Koba.
How was Koba? Better
than here. But the thing was that Koba itself, it was heavy rain for that week.
Okay.
So it was raining every day for that week. So in a sense that you can probably blame it a bit on the rain itself, and also a bit slow down in terms of the whole economy. So, but it's probably better than here.
But Koba, is it very Korean? Because over here we are looking at more Southeast Asian.
Okay, that's the thing. I haven't been to Broadcast Asia all that much, so probably here for you. What I'm seeing itself, I don't see that many locals.
You mean Singapore?
Yeah, or even Southeast Asia companies for that matter as well.
Okay.
But it's all sectors we are talking about, the Singapore pavilions, but the Singapore pavilions itself, most of it are foreign brands, including myself. But at the same time itself, we have the UK, the China.
Yes, and China pavilion is all the way.
The main pavilions downstairs itself, 90% are all foreigners.
Okay.
Is that normal?
In terms of exhibitors, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
because I mean, pavilions, it's in partnership with government bodies, right? But in terms of visitors, I think Broadcast Asia caters to more Southeast Asian broadcasters, but also. Then after he gives the thumbs up, then I will just do a quick intro saying that welcome back to the vStudio. This is called the vStudio anyway. So right now we have Paul Ivan from ARI. ARI Asia or ARI? ARI. From ARI. From ARI with us. Then then I will just continue with my first question on the trends that you see taking place in today's media industry. And the second question is the solutions question.
Trends.
Yeah, just give us a couple of minutes.
Okay.
We're good? Good? Okay, we're good.
Sound okay? One.
So welcome back to the vStudio. Right now I have Paul Ivan from ARI with us. So Paul, can you share with us some of the trends that you see taking place in today's media industry?
That's fine.
你 render out 就是这个吗？你看的是 render out 的 HDMI。
Can you first share with us some of the trends you see taking place in the media industry? And the second question would be the solutions that Sea Change is highlighting this year at Broadcast Asia. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And is that all you'll ask me about?
Yes.
Just those two questions?
Yes. Press through my card as well.
Thank you.
Sorry guys, is it okay for his stuff to be on the table?
Yes.
It's okay, right? Okay. Yep. Very much ready. You good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So it's just the start of the day for today.
Oh, I've been pretty busy since 5 a.m.
Wow.
So now I've had calls.
I almost end work at 2 a.m. I almost end work at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I ended work last night about 11:30, and then I got some sleep, and then I had to be up early. So I'm still a little bit on East Coast time because of the,
jet lag.
that's where our business is based, and I'm having to be on calls.
Oh, okay.
So we're still having a business to run.
Yep, definitely. But you'll be staying throughout?
I'm here just through today, Josephine.
Oh yeah,
I'm actually
that you're flying off tonight or tomorrow morning, right?
Tomorrow morning I'm going to Jakarta to to meet with a prospective customer, and I'm heading back to the States. I've been in Asia for 2 weeks now.
So it's a good Asia trip.
Yeah, I was in Tokyo, and from Tokyo I went to Hong Kong, and then to Taipei, and then here, and then I'm going to Jakarta.
A little bit of everything in Asia.
Where are you based?
Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, so our magazine is based in Singapore. So our reader base is also much, more than 30% of readers from Asia. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm just checking with them. You know, it's a bit, sometimes a little patchy in the morning when we gotta restart all the systems. But it should be working. Sim, are we okay? Okay, yeah, they're still trying to solve it. Yeah, I can, no worries. What's your next appointment after this?
I have, actually I'm going to a presentation by Kaltura, but I have 2 customer meetings this afternoon, and I have another interview with press later on this afternoon. So I have about 5 meetings today.
Wow.
I've already had a couple. But
it's good to be busy.
yes.
Is this your first broadcast Asia?
Yes.
How do you find the show?
It's hard for me to judge right now. I've only been here for a few hours. So I really, I have to absorb more. I have to sort of, just try to meet with people and see how it goes. So I don't know the answer to that question just yet.
And then you've been to like
IBC,
shows like
NAB, CES.
A little bit different.
Well, this is more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly more focused on broadcasting, and it's a smaller show relative to CES, NAB, and IBC. So, that's also a plus. But
have you been over to ConnecTechAsia?
No.
Are you planning to go?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's mostly the satellite people, security people, mostly over at ConnecTechAsia.
I love Singapore. It's my first trip here.
Is there anything you would like to see?
Well, last night we went to the sort of gardens in the park.
Gardens by the Bay?
Yes.
The one behind Marina Bay Sands?
Yes.
Okay.
With all the big, tall
It's one
trees.
of the newer attraction we have in Singapore.
It's beautiful.
Apart from the Marina Bay Sands. Where are you staying?
I'm staying at the Westin, over by the Asia Center.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is our CBD area. It's a very nice hotel. It's pretty new. I think it's less than 5 years, probably less than 3 years. So that it's one of our newest office towers around, alongside MBSC. Yeah, I used to work over at MBSC, the one with the DBS on top. We can get pretty good food over there. I mean, you just cross the road. We call it the hawker center. We call it La Plaza. So they have, so like when it goes at night, they'll close a small lane, a small road. Then it's all like Malay food, like satay and things like this. Just roadside food, and it's sort of like Singapore's signature. You could try that if you don't have any like.
Not everything is Broadcast Asia VoIP phone. You can attach your laptop to be able to provide more field-based type workflow environments and manage those very effectively. In addition to that, we've done some significant improvements to our Ango products. Our Ango products are the most commonly used in the field for news acquisition. As a matter of
Okay. You can just hide anywhere. Okay.
All good.
How's the show so far?
It's been okay. Yeah, okay for us.
It's upstairs or downstairs?
We're on the 4th floor. Is this live, or are we going to stop and take if we make a mistake? What's the story?
It's gonna go live on YouTube and Facebook.
So we just let it roll, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just let it roll. Based on your experience, you can definitely do that, right?
I think we can do that. What kind of questions are you going to ask me?
Okay, so just two questions. Trends you see, then
Changes? Sorry?
no, trends.
Oh, trends. Okay.
Trends you see. Then the second one is the solutions that VSN is bringing to Broadcast Asia.
Okay.
So I could just bring you through. So just now it's the place order. Now this is the actual sort of like the studios. So your hand, you might not want to. Your left hand, you don't. Yeah. Do not be cut. This is being cut already, if you see.
So I can't put my hands on there?
Yeah, try not to move your left side so much, the left hand so much, but right it's fine. Then, yeah. So
Something like that.
Something like that's fine. Then after that, we'll begin with a short. I'll do just short intro, like welcome back to the vStudio. And right now we have Nick Morgan or Nicholas Morgan.
Nick.
Nick
Yep.
Morgan from VSN.
Yes.
Okay, with us now. So after that, I will just proceed with the first question, which is the trends, the trends that you see taking place in the media industry. Then the second question, it's the solutions that VSN is bringing to Broadcast Asia this year.
Sure.
Okay. So you're good?
Good.
Okay, yeah, we are good. Any time now? Because you're the first one after lunch break. So I got a bit lost track of time.
You have lunch? That's good. We don't
No,
get
I
that.
didn't exactly. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're good. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Nick Morgan from VSN with us. So Nick, we would like to share with us some of the trends you see taking place in the media industry today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trends happening at the moment. A lot of consolidation of different companies, and the industry's been changing quite a bit. I think that's reasonably well documented. The main technology trends we're seeing is, while maybe a few years ago media asset management wasn't quite as it wasn't the topic of conversation necessarily you were having with a lot of customers. It was larger enterprise customers that were dealing with maybe a lot of video media. Today, with the changes that are happening, particularly around OTT and delivery of content to social and online platforms, the requirement to manage media across all those different platforms has become absolutely key to their business strategies going forward. So we're getting a lot of attention from the industry around media asset management particularly. I think other trends are we're seeing some of the larger broadcasters already having large OTT plans happening. There's a big shift in the industry towards online. And so really I think the customers, the vendors, at least the manufacturers that are going to be in the better position to service those customers going forward are the ones that can provide a technology roadmap, a future that gives them the tools they need to be able to create content that's relevant to that audience, and provide commercial pricing models that sort of make sense to them. Because I think the days of the very large capex orders, the on-site premise of equipment is changing. So yeah, but they're probably the biggest trends I'm seeing right now.
Okay, and what are some of the solutions that VSN is bringing to us this year?
Yeah, so VSN has a very good media asset management platform with VSN Explorer. It's a platform that incorporates media asset management, production asset management, business process management, which is like workflow orchestration. So it has an automated workflow engine and a business intelligence module. The BI module is becoming quite an item of interest with customers because the changes that are happening in the industry, there's a lot more, and big data, particularly around big data, there's a lot more interest in being able to measure what happens within a production environment. And because media asset management is sort of front and center in incorporating all the elements that connect a production environment together, broadcasters want to be able to measure what's happening in that production environment, mainly to see, you know, where they need to invest, where they need to divest potentially, whether they need to bring on more resources or not. So the business intelligence module gives them that capability to be able to measure what's happening in the production environment. On the MAM side, you know, the VSN Explorer MAM is very highly integrated with a lot of the show partners that we have here. Storage, archive, transcoding, BMS systems, very well integrated with many of them. So we have a lot of partners at the show, and I think the trend we're seeing is that we have a lot of interest in our MAM and PAM solutions across the APAC region right now.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Oh, most
Thanks,
welcome.
Nick, and have a great show at Broadcast Asia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. I think. Yeah. Okay.
How was that?
I guess it's good.
Bit of verbal diarrhea, but you know.
Before I let you go, can I just I'll just unmic you first.
Yes.
Then your transmitter.
I used to mic other people in my previous life. I was an audio engineer years ago.
Because you're the first one after lunch break. So I got a bit lost track of time.
You have lunch? That's good. We don't
No,
get
I
that.
didn't exactly. The media industry today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trends happening at the moment. A lot of consolidation of media asset management that sort of makes sense to them, you know, because I think so has to divest potentially, whether they need to bring on more resources or not. So the business intelligence module gives them that capability to be able to measure what's happening in the production environment. On the MAM side, you know, the vSN Explorer MAM is very highly integrated with a lot of the show partners that we have here. Storage, archive, transcoding, BMS systems, very well integrated with many of them. So we have a lot of partners at the show, and I think the trend we're seeing is that we have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. The media industry today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trends happening at the moment. A lot of consolidation of different companies, and the industry's been changing quite a bit. I think that's reasonably well documented. The main technology trends we're seeing is, while maybe a few years ago media asset management wasn't quite as it wasn't the topic of conversation necessarily you were having with a lot of customers. It was larger enterprise customers that were dealing with maybe a lot of video media. Today, with the changes that are happening, particularly around OTT and delivery of content to social and online platforms, the requirement to manage media across all those different platforms has become absolutely key to their business strategies going forward. So we're getting a lot of attention from the industry around media asset management particularly. I think other trends are we're seeing some of the
Yeah, we get a test. So you sit there and I go on this side. Yeah. So you're doing quite a schedule of these, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's only the second day.
I know. What is it? You're doing about 15 a day or something? Or?
Yeah, 15 a day. No, we are doing a little bit more today because due to some technical connectivity
you got
issues
some
yesterday.
catch up. Okay, right.
Got to bring it forward to today.
No, is it good to have a book, or does that not?
No,
the book is not showing.
Not exactly. It's a little bit at the bottom here, but normally I would just. Do you need the book? If not, you could just put it at the edge. It's fine.
I think it's all right.
Okay.
So that's out of shot? It is, yeah.
Yeah, so this is to be the branded studio. So,
yeah.
Before that, we'll have, I just bring you through the whole thing. So before that, we'll have sort of this placeholder on the screen. Then they'll do a 5-second countdown. So once they give me a thumbs up, means we can go live. So I will do a quick introduction to say like, okay, welcome back to the vStudio. Right now I have Patty Payne. Did I get it correct?
Yeah, Payne. Yeah.
Payne, yeah. From AP Associated Press.
Yeah, AP, Associated Press. Yeah, what you say? I'm going to introduce it anyway. So, say from AP.
From AP.
Patty Payne from AP.
Patty Payne from AP. With us right now at the vStudio. So I'll begin with the first question, which is the trends you see taking place in today's media industry. And the second question is the solutions that AP is bringing to Broadcast Asia this year.
Yep. Sure. Okay. I think. I generally find it better to be in a conversation rather than me talking for. Do we have 5 minutes, or what's the?
Yeah, it's around 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can probably talk for 5 minutes, but I think it might be more natural or easier if. So if you want to interrupt me or say what does that mean, or then or explain the benefit that brings or something, I think that might work. Might work well. Yeah. I mean, just so you know, I plan to say that AP is an Associated Press, is a news organisation. We were founded 170 years ago, and we're all about editorial standards. So what are we doing here in a technology show? That's my kind of introduction, and then I will say a little bit about a sort of history in innovating, but then in particular what we're doing right now in different areas of innovation. But then there are 2 products I want to focus on that we've got at this show. One of which is ENPS, which we've had for 20 years, but which we upgrade every year, and that's used by 800 newsrooms around the world, so it's quite widely adopted. And then there's AP Playbook, which is brand new, and which I'll focus on at the end. So Playbook is what it's about, but I'll talk a little bit about our background as an innovator. And the AP, it's done some stuff in artificial intelligence or algorithmic journalism. It's done some stuff in virtual reality journalism, so sort of immersive reporting experiences. It's doing some stuff in social media analytics. It's doing some things in. We're part of a Google News initiative producing something to help verify user-generated content. So that's a key issue in modern journalism, is that a news organisation may get video footage uploaded by a phone somewhere, and it may claim to be in a war zone or whatever. So how do you know where it's come from? How do you know that it's authentic? So verifying that sort of thing. So that's a key thing we're doing. So quite a few technologies we can refer to, but I don't want to go into detail on those. And then we'll talk about Playbook at the end.
Okay, Ken, I think we can have a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, we are ready over here.
Okay, so do I look at you or do I look at the camera?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Patty Payne at the vStudio, who is from AP. So Patty, could you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in the media industry today?
Sure. Well, Josephine, thank you for the introduction. It's great to be able to talk to you today. And it's really good to be at Broadcast Asia again. We come here every year. Although we visit our customers individually, for us, Broadcast Asia is a great way of seeing lots of people in one place at one time. So why are we, as AP, the Associated Press, Why are we, as the oldest editorial, the oldest news organization in the world, why are we in a technology trade show? Well, we're here because we're an innovative company. We've been innovating since we were founded in the 1840s as a not-for-profit news cooperative, and we're still a not-for-profit news cooperative, which just wanted to tell a true story. So we've been innovating ever since then, and one of the key innovations we want to show you at the show today is called AP Playbook, and it's for planning. If you're producing news as a broadcaster or a digital news outlet, it's to help you plan your coverage and manage your editorial assignments. But I wanted to say a little bit about AP and AP as an innovator, which it's been for many years. Now, if you go back many years, we would talk about broadcast, and indeed APB is called broadcast. Yes. But you cover a lot more than broadcast right now, because you cover IP delivery and you cover digital news and all kinds of things. And so we've also evolved as an organisation, and a lot of what we do is not just about our editorial standards, but it's about adopting the benefits of new technologies and bringing those to the benefit of our customers. So I'd like to give you a couple of examples of that. So, for example, these days when everyone is carrying a camera in their pocket, UGC or user-generated content, that is something that every newsroom is now bombarded with. So how do you, as a journalist, how do you know that the content that you've just received, that the video you've just received is genuine? Well, we are, as AP, we're part of a Google News initiative, and we're developing a system that helps automatically verify that video content is from where it says it's from, that the person who submitted the footage is genuine, that they are who they say they are, and some other key metadata which help verify that this is real. So that's an example of a key tool which enhances the editorial credibility of a news organisation. And we as the AP want to use that, but also our customers want that as well. So we're collaborating in that kind of environment. We've also been an innovator in the field of, that's a good example, virtual reality. So we have some VR immersive reporting. We're an innovator in terms of algorithmic journalism, so using artificial intelligence. Many years ago we used to have some of our top journalists reporting on the big conglomerates, the big financial institutions, as they would report regularly, particularly on the world stock exchanges. Well, we realized that a lot of what they were doing was formulaic, so they were reporting data but followed certain standards and patterns, and also they would report quarterly and then annually. And we were able to get, with a technology partner, we were able to automate a lot of that reporting, a lot of the number crunching. You draw a lot of the conclusions out of it, and then we take our best journalists, and then they run the analysis on what the automated intelligence has delivered. So our customers get 10 times as many reports they had before, with more data and with our top analysis on top. So that's another example of us innovating and adopting the benefits of technology. So to come back to the newsroom, and that's where I belong, if you like. So for 20 years, the AP has been a market leader in providing what we call ENPS. So it was the world's first newsroom computer system. It was designed originally for the BBC, and it's now it's updated every year, and it's now used by 800 newsrooms around the world. So they're producing their news. So it's a tool for journalists to work together and produce a news bulletin, whether it's on a TV bulletin or whether it's published online. So that's if you like, a key area of expertise for us, and we're very proud of that as a success story. But something that we're launching this year is called AP Playbook. I mentioned it earlier on. And that, if you like, builds on the expertise that we have from ENPS as a developer of newsroom technology. But also, we as the AP have identified a problem we have as a news organisation. And the more we talk to customers, broadcasters, digital news organisations, they have the same problem. So it's exciting to be able to solve our problem and theirs at the same time. So what it does, fundamentally, Playbook helps you plan your news coverage not just in individual silos. So we as a news organization, we have a video business, we have a text business, we have a photo business, we have an archive business, and so on. But we discovered that there was duplicated effort between those different divisions. We had too many people in different systems approaching maybe the same story but from different angles. What Playbook does is it brings all those into one place, and it allows you to say, okay, here's an idea for a story we want to cover. How are we going to cover it? Are we going to cover it with a camera crew? Are we going to cover it with a text journalist? Do we have someone who has both those skills? Of course we do. But then if we're sending a bigger crew to cover it, we want to track the costs of that story. We want to track the additional overhead costs for a story. So what would it cost us as an organization to cover this particular story in a different region? There may be travel costs or satellite costs or feed costs, for example. And increasingly, journalists are not just focused on their keyboard, but they now may have to operate a camera. They may now have responsibility for a budget as well. So they've got to be able to track the costs of a story. So there is removing the duplication of effort. There's tracking the story costs. There's managing the output, where this story is going to go, and you can do all of those things inside AP Playbook. And as I say, we've brought the benefit of this to our own business inside AP. We've been sharing it with some customers in a sort of trial basis, and they keep coming up with new ideas, saying, yes, you've hit on something here, but what about adding this on as well? And we've been able to build in some new features. So it's launching later this year, and we'd be delighted to come and tell you about it again next year.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Benny, the things about AP it's doing and innovation. So I hope AP will have a great Broadcast Asia show this year.
Yeah, we hope so too. It's great to meet you, Josephine. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. All right. Very good.
Good.
I almost said NAB at the end.
Thanks, you did. I can see NAB as well if you like that.
Oh God. Okay. Let me just unmic you first.
All right.
Yeah. Just stick this up from here, and can I get the transmitter as well? Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We're in a technology trade show. Well, we're here because perceived is genuine. Well, we are, as AP, we're every year, and it's now Playbook helps you plan your news coverage, not just in individual silos. So we as a news organization, there's tracking the story costs, there's managing the output, where this story is going to go, and you can do all of those things inside AP Playbook.
One, I think. But is that one?
The Thailand one?
Yeah, the Thailand one.
Yeah, the Thailand one. Yes, I got it. I have it.
When can it, be put on the web?
The story?
Yeah.
Probably next week because the advertorial for Imagine on our show news, it's already done.
Sorry?
The advertorial on our show news, it's already done. But this press release, we can take it into editorial considerations next week when we get back, when this show closes and we get back to office. Or would you like to highlight that in your interview?
Well, I think the whole idea is to put it on during the BCA, but if you can do it only next week,
Yeah, because Imagine signed up for the advertorial, and it's according to the article that she gave us, it was just from Miriam, Joe's contribution.
But it is what it is, but I don't quite understand why it's taking so long. I think it's pretty much copy paste, right?
We don't exactly do that because normally for Imagine we'll try and do something different, but after the placeholder, they will do a countdown of 5 seconds. Then we'll switch to this screen. Then after which, I will do a short introduction saying that right now we have Jason Lee from Imagine Communications with us. Then I will just start with my question. The first question would be the trends you see taking place in the media industry. Then the second one would be the solutions Imagine is highlighting this year at Broadcast Asia. Is that okay? Yeah, we are ready to go. Yep. Welcome back to the vStudio. Right now we have Jason Lee from Imagine Communications with us at the studio. So Jason, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place in the media industry today?
Sure, thanks Josephine. We have witnessed a big change in the broadcast and the entertainment industry. Firstly and most importantly, the transition from the traditional baseband to the IP solutions. This change is kind of a fundamental change that has made a strong impact in many ways. The way you form your network, the way you do your business, the workflow, the equipment, the whole setup of the whole system, the knowledge base of those engineers, everything is, is new. So it's a tremendous change. And also, in order to adopt this new technology, you need a lot of investment. But as we all know, that the broadcast and the media industry is now seeing big challenge in terms of revenue versus the investment. So that's also kind of a difficult question for many decision makers of the broadcasters. So I think that are the two most challenging, biggest challenges we see in the industry now.
Okay, and what are the solutions that Imagine is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
We are a company in this industry for a long time, starting from Leach to Harris, now to Imagine. We offer total solutions starting from the baseband to the latest IP, and we are definitely the leader of IP technology in this industry. We are highlighting the 4K playout solutions, which we I'm happy to disclose that we have this online in one of the broadcasters in Thailand, which is True Vision. That's one thing, and also I think our star products is the SMP Selenium networking processor. It's a processor. It's a almighty, I would say, almighty product that can do the gateway between the traditional baseband world and to the IP world. It can also do a lot of processing in terms of the video, color space, and all the traditional processing for the video signals. And it's also a core part of many network solutions in the IP world, starting from playout to master control, and also to gateway and etc. So these are the highlight product solutions for this year.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Jason.
Yeah.
I hope Imagine will have a great Broadcast Asia this year.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
We have Jason Lee from Imagine Communications with us at the studio. So Jason, can you share with us some of the trends you see taking place?
From the traditional baseband to the IP solutions. This change is kind of a fundamental change that, and also in order to adopt this
In here. What the hell's this?
Make,
Oh yeah, knock yourself out.
This way.
Okay.
Just so. Iris is highlighting this year at Broadcast Asia. Because based on the description I got, I understand that Iris is highlighting a lot on Wi-Fi and VR as well, a little bit on that. So I'm not sure if you want to touch on
We're not highlighting VR. What we do is we talk about the effect of VR on the infrastructure.
Yes, exactly. So do you want Reporter from ARIS with us. So Duncan, what are some of the key trends you see taking place in the media industry?
So certainly within the operator infrastructure, we're seeing really two major things. The first one is the proliferation of IP, especially within the cable infrastructure, which is opening up a whole new set of applications and uses, as well as cost savings. And we're also seeing the use of new technologies to be able to extend digital transmission out in much further towards the node. So technologies like remote PHY, remote MAC-PHY, and all of those things are now starting to come into play, which is having a huge has huge implications on the way that we think about next generation sort of 5G tech deployments as well.
And what are some of the solutions that ARIS is bringing to us this year at Broadcast Asia?
So the main focus is really around this whole idea that operators are now starting to think about how they can reach much further down into the home. You know, in the past they've delivered as far as the gateway, maybe the set-top box, but now they're starting to think about how they can deliver much more sophisticated Wi-Fi infrastructure, and to do that you have to be able to manage it much more effectively. So we've been showing Home Assure, which is our solution for operator management, and then the other pieces that we have been showing are new set-top boxes using Android. As an option. Obviously that's something that's very topical at the moment, and we've also been discussing new developments in both the access network, like remote PHY, like remote MAC-PHY, and new developments in the head end as well, to really help consolidate and get around a lot of the issues of space and heat within the head end.
And how do you see virtual reality, VR, developing in the media industry?
So VR is going to be fascinating. The nice thing about VR is it's really not a sort of a fad or a fashion. It's actually a technology that has enormous implications. So we're not just seeing it in the media industry as well, which is great. When we saw 3D TV, for instance, we just saw it in the media industry. But now what we're starting to see is 3D being used in the healthcare industry as a possible alternative for drug therapies to treat things like depression and PTSD, to alleviate pain when somebody is suffering from both anxiety and pain itself. And you know, the real challenge there, and this is where ARIS comes in, is dealing with not only the need for huge amounts of bandwidth, but also a much more manageable latency window, because obviously we've got to have a latency window down in the millisecond range. And then really the third piece that, you know, clearly we're going to have to work on, along with a lot of our partners in the industry, is the fact that is IP really the right kind of protocol for us to be actually using, because it's completely non-deterministic. And this is something where we absolutely need to be able to manage the end-to-end latency and how long it takes to transmit the information from one end to the other. So a lot of really interesting stuff that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of years.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Duncan. I hope ARIS will have a great Broadcast Asia.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Yep, very good.
All right?
Yeah, I got your name right.
Yes, you did. Out in much further towards the node.
Reporter from ARIS with us. So Duncan, what are some of the key trends you see?
And uses, as well as cost savings, having a huge implication, like remote PHY, like remote MAC-PHY, and new developments in the head end as well, to really help consolidate and get around a lot of the issues of space and heat within the head end.
And how do you see virtual reality, VR,
and PTSD, to alleviate pain when somebody is suffering from both anxiety and pain itself. And you know, the real challenge there, and this is where Aris comes in, is dealing with not only the need for huge amounts of bandwidth, but also a